All right, welcome everybody to round one of the Invitational. We've got the boxer on the bottom of your screen. We've got the Bergund at the top. Let's tell our players they are good to go, and they will get started. All right, boxer looking at a hand of 2 power, shock troops, Darli, Dovid. Seems a little tough with the power, but otherwise it seems like a pretty good hand. I wonder if that's a keep.
Yeah, it's very close to the thing is it is a mulligan to 6 though, because Permafrost is a not good card in the matchup.
That's true.
So
And
on that aspect, it's a little awkward.
the players do have decklist. It is open decklist, and they knew who their opponent was. So Boxer will know during the mulligans that Permafrost is essentially a mulligan as well. All right, on the other side of things, the Bergund kept a hand of 2 primal sigils, a Seek Power, Beseech the Throne, a Steely Resolve, a Vicious Overgrowth, and a Wisdom of the Elders.
Steely Resolve, I love it. So what Boxer's hoping to do is he's hoping to draw a sigil off the top. That way he can go Daru Lee into shock troops with the exhaust shock troops to attack for 5, and put him start the massive clock on Bergund, which that's one of the best starts the deck can have. Is why I think Boxer kept it. Is Daru Lee into exhaust the unit, attack for 5 on turn 2 is a very good play. On the other side, though, Bergund has the answer to Daru Lee in hand with Vicious Overgrowth.
Ooh, and a Seed of Wisdom off the top. That's going to be a little bit slow, but we do have shock troops here. We're just going to attack in for 2. The Bergund top decked an Equalize there, which is pretty good in the matchup, but you also have to remember that Equalize is 4 justice influence. So Bergund's going to take a little while before they're able to get 4 justice online, but Vicious Overgrowth going to take care of that Darli.
Yeah, so Equalize is interesting in the Haru control deck versus the Combre Ramp deck, because the Combre Ramp deck, it tries to not say empty the hand, but it lowers the hand significantly, whereas Haru control doesn't. So Equalize in the Combre deck is trying to not have many units on the board, and then try to back it up with Equalize. But with the Haru control deck, you're gonna have to discard some cards down. Now it'd probably be worth it because your opponent not on the board is pretty good to winning the game with your control deck, but you might have to discard though. So on the flip side, we see Boxer having stuff and things.
It was nice the Boxer to be able to hit exactly their power on time there. It was a little slow on turn 2, but having the rest of their power exactly how they want it into this Hyphos here is going to be pretty nice. Bergund does have 2 Dazzles in hand, and Boxer's going to want to basically not draw much more power after this. Hopefully they draw action the rest of the game. And Bergund's going to fire off a Wisdom of the Elders here. Thank you, Column W, Soap Yellow, and Tix IJ so much for the follows. Welcome. Hopefully you're enjoying the Invitational today. Thanks for being here with us.
So, oh man, we might see it. Argo's Technique versus Steely Resolve. Let's go. Anyways, okay. So the reason that Boxer played Hifos last turn instead of Customs Officer, even though Customs Officer is a 4/3, Hifos is a 3/4. Customs Officer costs 4, Hifos costs 3, so you're not as power efficient, and Hifos could potentially, be played for 5 later and become even bigger. So why would Boxer make the different play? And the reason for that is that playing the Hifos that turn made Shock Troops very swole. It gave Shock Troops the extra +3/+3 to get the damage in that turn, rather than trying to set up for the future. Boxer's instead doing what I said that Boxer must do and going for the win right now.
And that was a ton of damage. That put Bergund all the way down to 4, and Bergund has another Dazzle and has an Equalize, so they can slow things down a little bit, but 4 is a pretty low life total. They're going to need some way to clean up the board here pretty quickly.
They actually can't Dazzle, notably, because Dazzle can't be played on either of those units. Even though there's giant units, a 4/4 and a 3/4 flyer, none of them cost 2. Dazzle's only played on 2 cost units.
Right.
So
here comes that Permafrost.
And that Permafrost coming in clutch.
You said it wouldn't be playing Stormblast, but here you go. Permafrost blocking the 1 blocker, which is going to get lethal. And Bergund's going to toss it in.
I was a fool. A fool.
All right. Well, congrats to the Boxer for taking game 1 here. That was a pretty quick start. I think that's exactly what they needed to do here. We'll have to see if they can do it again. But let's jump back down. Remember, all these matches are best of 3. So let's head right back down. Boxer now up a game, and let's see what they got here.
This seemed like a mulligan to me. It's got it's so the other hand was very fast. It had a lot of aggression. Even though Boxer top decked, depleted power basically for most of those turns, I don't think he really minded because he had the power. This hand didn't get off the board quickly, and the previous hand, like Argo is great, but costs 5. Hethos costs 3. So this hand's obviously way better. It's got all the factions. It's got 2 paintings. It's got Janitor David himself, and it's got a 4/4 next turn. So, well, it doesn't have a 1-drop. It does have basically everything else.
All right, here comes Janitor the first. Let's see what he can draw here. He's going to grab a Hethos. Pretty nice there, and also nice to have a 4/4 in this matchup. So here we go.
Yeah, because Bergund's really relying on drawing some vicious overgrowth normally. But, oh, wow, Tempo Builder's Decree.
All right.
And doing Call on Allies is unexpected, I would say.
All right, Bergund's hand
that
has the Vicious Overgrowth, Speaking Circle, Beseech the Throne, that 9 cost from the heavens, and a pair of Dazzles in hand.
So the reason that I think Call on Allies is kind of interesting to choose as the target there is because Boxer is not likely to play it anyways for a couple turns, since it can't be played on Janitor David because Janitor David is not a soldier. Boxer would have to play Auric Record Keeper the previous turn, Hethos this turn with no Amplify, and then play Call on Allies on both. And that just seemed a bit unlikely to me. So I think if I was Bergund, I might have just taken that Auric Record Keeper instead of the Call on Allies that seemed less likely to be played.
And here comes that Hethos down, going to make it a 3/4. So now we've got a 4/4 and a 3/4 flyer here, and that Record Keeper is still going to be a stun for one more turn. A second copy of Permafrost on the top. I mean, that's really not what you want. You might be able to squeeze one out, but a second one's definitely not great. So kind of 2 blanks here in hand for the Boxer. Here comes that Dazzle. That's gonna stun the Janitor here. The Boxer gonna fire off Martial Efficiency, try to push that damage through.
Yeah, I like it because Martial Efficiency is not really getting any better, especially because you have the Permafrost. So the only reason to not do it would be, if you were somehow afraid of, having to combat with the 4/4. But since Boxer actually has that, he doesn't need to worry about that. And the Tempo Call on Allies, you know what? I kind of like that. I don't hate that. Why not, right? If you're planning on attacking every turn anyways, why not just throw off Call on Allies?
Yeah, and again, putting Bergund down to 4. Pretty aggressive for Boxer. Good starts, both of these games. Bergund now basically a desperation Speaking Circle. Going to have to draw something off here that's going to deal with these.
It looks like we got some throne cards here.
Yep. Oh, nothing pretty there. You got Decimate, Forgotten Find, and Excavate.
I like it, Bergund. I like it.
Yeah, just going to gain the health, but that's not going to do it. And that's going to do it. Boxer's going to take a quick 2-0. I can
appreciate him decimating, though, to make his influence a rainbow. That's all I'm saying.
Got to go out with the style points. Well, congratulations to the Boxer for taking the first match in fairly quick manner here. Going to take it 2-0. So congrats to the Boxer. A quick reminder how this is going to go.